Have an article here from Zero Hedge. Guest posted says I for inevitable. And the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention because it's so true. Every once in a while, as a matter of fact, I've only really made one movie recommendation. Of course, you all know what that is if you've been listening to me for some time. It's Braveheart because it has to do with honor. I'm big on honor because I think a character of a man or woman defines the person because your character lets the whole world see who you serve. All right. Inevitable. I for inevitable. Look what it says. Just over 400 years ago today, a group of conspirators was, or 13 conspirators was caught trying to assassinate King James I of England and blow up the House of Lords. I want you to listen to me very closely what I'm reading here. Listen to this article. In what became known as the gunpowder treason. Gunpowder treason. Listen to this. If you've ever seen the movie V for Vendetta, and I would suggest that movie. As a matter of fact, I have one more movie I want to suggest. And you have to understand, I really truly don't watch too much movies because I really think they're a waste of time. But every once in a while, I get a recommendation about a movie, and then people will bring it to my attention. And maybe because I look at movies a little bit different than other people do. I try to look for movies that, you know, if I'm going to waste time, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours sitting down in front of a one-eyed monster called the TV set. I want to make sure it's quality time spent. So Braveheart is V for Vendetta and The Last Samurai. The Last Samurai. All movies about honor, character, and integrity. As a matter of fact, our little community here pretty much runs under the same code as that little small community out there called The Last Samurai. But you need to really watch that Last Samurai, and the reason being is because that movie has a lot of direction, a lot of understanding. You have to understand, these people see things totally different in this world than the way you and I do. The system see things in this world totally different than the way you and I do. As a matter of fact, they believe that they have the right to rule over you, to tax you half to death, and to abuse you simply because they have the power to do it. I don't believe that sentiment. I don't believe anything like that. I believe that you are free, and I believe that you have the right to live free. Are we in bondage right now? Are we in what you call slavery right now? Economically, politically, socially, and especially on the religious front? Sure we are. That's the reason why I'm here. I'm here to try to stimulate thought, to get you to open up your mind, to free yourself so that you can actually start exercising some independent thinking. Let me finish this article because you know me, I'll get to going. Look what it says. It became known as the gunpowder treason. If you've ever seen the movie V for Vendetta, you know the story. The plot of 1605 may have been a failure for the conspirators, but given enough time, a system so screwed up and so unsustainable was destined to collapse on itself, just like our system today. Curiously, we're not so different in the West today. Just like the English monarchs, we have a tiny elite, and we do. Listen to me very close. There is probably 360, 370 billion people on the face of planet Earth, something like that. No, excuse me. We're approaching 7 billion, 7 billion people on the face of planet Earth. And less than 0.5% of the people on the earth is ruling over close to 7 billion people. How do we get to this situation? How do we get to these circumstances? And how is it that we, the people who are the majority, are allowing this slavery to take place? Well, let me read on here for a second, all right? We have a tiny elite that controls absolutely everything about our economy, taxation, regulation, and the supply of money. Needless to say, this is also unsustainable. And history shows that these types of unsustainable systems will always collapse under their own weight. And it's inevitable. It is true. Because everything that you know about life is going to come crashing down on you and I like a 2-ton heavy stick. That's the reason why you have to open your eyes so that you can see. You have to start changing the way that you do things. If you've been going to church all this time and you're still miserable, you have no peace, it's not working. You need to change what you're doing. You need to change courses of action. If you're still doing the same things you've always done, considering money, what you call, i.e. money, paper is never money in any form whatsoever, you need to change what you're doing so you can get a peace of mind. If you're waiting for this political system to be righteous, you can definitely forget that. It ain't gonna ever be righteous. That's all there is to it. For our social, you need to get mutual assistance groups. You need to learn how to build relationships. Now, understand that most people, it is virtually impossible to build a healthy relationship with some people. Remember this, every man is right in their own eyes. That's the reason why they do the things that they do, because they're right in their own eyes. But every single one of us, we have to submit to some form of righteousness law, a code of conduct. And only those who agree whatever that code of conduct is can function together, and function together in a very sound and elite unit. They can do that. But the powers that be today in the system that we're all seem to be subject to today, they have totally different ideas. They have the money, they have the jobs, they create the jobs, and then they create the laws, and they're all in a fraternity, every single one of them. And then it's like 0.5% of them, if that much. And then the other 7 billion of us. Whew. And we are all in serfdom and slavery. And it appalls me. Even in America, 360 million people, we have 545 and we're playing our game, and we are still seeing things getting worse. This mortgage debacle, this economic debacle, you saw the answers, right? No matter if it's Romney or Obama, you have saw the answers, right? The solution to their problem, to the problems of our economic woes in this country, is print more money to go even more in debt. Because there are no jobs. They're lying right in front of your face. That's what a politician does. If their mouth is moving, they are lying. So you have to learn how to make your own way. Because if you don't make your own way, and you have not prepared yourself, that means when natural disasters, catastrophes take place, such as Sandy, you're going to be subject to them, the system, at their will. But if you start to think, and if you start to exercise independent thinking and become very proactive in your life, getting ready, getting yourself ready, and your family ready, then you won't have to be subject to them. You can ride out the wave of the storm. That's the whole idea, is to get you in the mindset to ride out the wave of this storm. I would recommend that movie V for Vendetta so you can understand what's going on. Now, understand the system hates the guy that is resisting it. Understand Edward Longshanks in Braveheart, he hated William Wallace because William Wallace wanted to be free, and the system thought that it was their right to pass any laws. I mean, even one of those laws is that these people had a right to actually have sexual rights to your wife, and to do whatever they want to your family, simply because it was the law. I'm not going to submit to no mess like that, and I'm sure you're not going to either. And when you look at The Last Samurai, here it is. There are people who wanted to honor the old ways. You know why? Because they had a tribal mentality. When you look at the Bible, it only talks about the 12 tribes of Israel. And it's not that Israel that means you've been conditioned in your mind to think about under that 1948, under the League of Nations by Great Britain and the United States. That ain't it. There's a total different mindset. You see, the Bible even talks about tribes. It's tribal. It's about a close-knit unit. A unit where cohesiveness and honor are the code. And they know the powers that be. It's amazing how that all these organizations, they are in unity, but the people who should be in unity, we are so much at disunity, so much at odds, because they have us confused and literally out of our minds today. You know why? Because Everybody thinks that they're thinking their own ways when we've been trained by the system, we've been manipulated by the system, and then we sit down in front of the TV, which the system set up, and they suggest thoughts, they admit thoughts to our mind, and we actually believe that we're functioning after our own thought pattern. I tell you, it's chaotically insane. It's literally madness what's going on today. And then somebody like me, part of the resistance movement, we set up here and tell you the truth and give you the avenue so you can see the truth for yourself. Next thing you know, I get slandered, I get defamed, I get character assassinated, I get called everything under the sun. You know why? Because of the way we've been trained to process thought and the way that we have been trained to think. It seems like a tall order, doesn't it? There's only going to be a few of us that's going to have our eyes wide open, but I know one thing. There are a lot of people, especially on that East Coast out there in the New Jersey, New York area, that has been on the fence listening to Pastor Dow. I guarantee you they're jumping off the fence now. And I thank the Father that they have jumped off the fence now, because they're seeing that whatever they believed in the past, it hurts my heart to see these people standing in line with gas cans with no hope in their eyes, because they're listening to the wrong preachers, the wrong teachers. They're listening to the wrong form of news and information coming from the TV, because they're not preparing them. They're not preparing their hearts and their minds. I hope I said something to help you evaluate your thought, to take a good closer look at your life. And that is the truth. And that's the truth straightway. Go to my website right behind me, straightwaytruth.com. That's the online church. We'll go to straightwaytruth.com and look at the brand new Easter fraud chart that I put up. You're going to love this. It makes no difference. You're Christians, Muslims, Israelites. You're going to love this chart right here. You know why? Irrefutable evidence. Irrefutable evidence. But anyway, hope you have a good day. Look forward to seeing you on the other side.